Welcome back. In this step, we would look at the features which list provides where it can act as a stack and a queue. First of all, what is a stack and what is a queue? A stack is typically called last in, first out. So if I insert elements in the order 1, 2, 3, and 4, then if I want to take out the elements from a stack, the first one which will come out is 4, the next one is 3, next one is 2, and next one is 1. So it's called a last in, first out. A queue, as we all know, is first in, first out. So if I insert elements in this order, and if I want to take an element out of the queue, I would need to get one out first. How can we use a list as a stack or a queue? Let's look at it right now. Let's start with a stack. Let's create a simple list. So let's say numbers is equal to an empty thing. So I would insert numbers dot append 1, numbers dot append 2, numbers dot append 3, and numbers dot append 4. The way you can use a list as a stack is by saying numbers dot pop. This would return 4. One of the important things about the pop method is it retrieves the last element, as well as the important thing, it deletes it as well. So if you look at numbers right now, 4 is removed from the list. If I do a numbers dot pop again, 3 comes out, and if you do numbers, it's 1 comma 2. Now I can add numbers dot append if I would want to add a new one. Let's say I would want to add 10. And if I do numbers dot pop again, what would come out first? Last in, first out. So the last element in was 10. So the first one which comes out is 10. And if I see numbers now, 1 comma 2, because 10 is popped out. So this is how you can use a list as a stack. So you can use the append to insert and pop to take the element out of the stack. Now let's reassign the numbers to empty, and let's now look at how to use this list as a queue. So I can add in 4 elements, 1 first, 2 next, 3 next, and 4 next. What you need to do is to do numbers dot pop 0. What would it do? It would pop the 0th element. So it returns 1 first. And now if you look at numbers, it would only have 2, 3, 4. If you do numbers dot pop again, it's returning 2 back. And if you look at numbers now, there are only 3 and 4. So the elements which came in first are the ones which go out first. This is basically a queue. So you can add new element the same way, 10. And if you do a numbers dot pop 0 again, it removes the elements which came first, 3. And if you do pop 0, 4, and pop 0 again, 10. If you do numbers, it's right now empty. So this is how you can either use a list as a stack or a queue. Later in this course, we would look at a more efficient way of implementing a queue with Python. The pop0 works, but it can be much more efficient, and we would look at something called a dequeue at a later point in this course. In this step, we looked at how to use a list as a stack or a queue. I'll see you in the next step. Until then, bye-bye.